All right, the first part, as we look at Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 to 9, it says, "For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." All right, so our salvation and the grace that we have or rather, the grace that we've been given by God is not by works. All right, and this is so that no man can boast. So the fact that you are saved and there are unbelievers out there still walking in the world and still sinning does not mean you are greater or better than them. It just means that God's grace located you. All right. So it's important that we understand that when a person is living in the world and living in sin, we must present Jesus Christ to them. And in presenting Jesus Christ, remember, he knows what we don't. So if we depend on our own righteousness, that's where we go there and make a mockery of God and speak ill of people who are maybe depending on substances to deal with situations they think God is responsible for. All right. So let's say someone lost a parent to cancer and it's like, hey, God, you're this good God that is all powerful and all knowing. All of a sudden, these things are happening in my life. And this person may have turned away from God because of that very reason. And then instead of ministering God's heart, which is that he wants to deal with the root, that I'm not responsible for that illness and that I'm the one who's behind everything, working things together for your good. And that is not my will that would have happened. But there are certain situations happening on earth that God now, in some cases, is sometimes we even limit God from moving sometimes because of free will. Okay, so I'm not speaking toward illnesses or anything like that in this case, but now I'm speaking toward free will, that let's say someone makes a decision to live the wrong lifestyle, ends up in a bad situation or ends up, losing their life or something like that. We then blame God for that. But God is like, hey, look, I've given this person free will and they decided to do what they wanted to. And this is how this happened. All right. So we must understand that when we are ministering to the world, yes, some situations God is sovereign where you've done everything right and he still hasn't changed the situation. He's sovereign. So, and in cases like that, I can only respond as a vessel if he gives me the reason why he allowed it to happen. But if he does not explain, that's why we need to learn to, sympathize and empathize with one another, that we should stop judging each other and stop judging people who don't have the knowledge that we have or who do not walk the way we walk. All right. We are to minister the gospel in full effect. All right.